Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Tamiko. Welcome to my home in New Jersey. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Before today's episode, click the join button below to support all of the storytelling we do on this channel. Our growing community of members help to directly fund more videos so we can capture these extraordinary homes from around the world. So join today to receive early and exclusive access to new Homeworthy videos.
Hi, I'm Tamiko Hargrove. I'm the founder of A Wanderlust Home, a luxury accessories home decor business. We are at my home in Montclair, New Jersey, and I would love to show you around. I've been living here for 14 years, and it has been, I'm a New Yorker originally, born and raised in New York City, and I never thought I would be in New Jersey 14 years later. And a friend who lived in New Jersey, we used to work together years ago, and I came to visit her. And I was at the time looking for a place just to move on and try something new. And she suggested I come to this community called Montclair in New Jersey. And I thought, I don't think so, but you know, she convinced me, just go look at it, just go check out the town and the property, and because she kind of knew my style and what I liked, and I still, I nothing was going to convince me I was going to move to New Jersey. And sure enough, her husband said, let's go, we have a viewing, we just kind of threw you in to see this place. And 14 years later, I never left. My taste has changed over time. So 14 years, it has evolved from just like beginning stages of me kind of practicing interiors and accessorizing and staging, just kind of trying to figure out what my aesthetic is. I didn't know what it was. I just knew what I liked, but I didn't really know how to put it together. So I started. You'll see around in a couple of minutes some of the decor books that I have that I'm kind of self-taught, and I just kind of studied styles and colors, and friends who are designers, I would watch them and see how they would put things together. And I, oh my gosh, in the beginning I used a lot of beige and pink and in my eye, I thought it worked. It looked great, and it looks completely different than what it does right now. So over time, it evolved from me kind of not knowing what I'm doing to kind of really understanding my style. This is what I love. This is how I want it to look. This is my aesthetic. So here we are. So here we are in the most colorful space in my apartment. This is all where I join the colors, saturations, the things that I love to kind of testing my practice, if you will. I want to start off with this gorgeous, gorgeous carpet that kind of helped create the coloring in the space. This beautiful spotted pebble carpet in emerald green. It's by Jennifer Manners, who I love. She's a British designer, textile designer in New York and in London. And it has all the different emeralds. Like emeralds can be a dark emerald, it can be a light emerald. And it has all the variations of emeralds, which was perfect to go with my emerald sofa because it is in front of the window and it has faded over time, so it's not as bright as it used to be, but that's okay. I never got it protected. That's why the carpet is so perfect, because it kind of have all of those emerald variations to help bring out the green, the new emerald green in the carpet, in the sofa. Again, more pink that I throw in because pink and green I think are great together. Here are some lampshades from my company, A Wanderlust Home. They're from Paris. As I said, I travel all over the world and I source these gorgeous pieces. And these lampshades are by Casa Lopez in Paris, France. And they're so cool. And I love that the material is throughout. So there's no hard piece on the inside. It's all silk fabric throughout. So you really get the pretty lighting. You really get to see the color of the lampshade. And also my hobnails, which are from Czech Republic, that more green and more pink. So the pink and the green, again, I kind of tied together because I think it's a really cool combination. But yeah, this, I don't know if you can really see it because it is filled with water, but when the light hits the hobnail, the colors are so stunning. So these wall pictures, they're by Van Gogh, these prints. And it's a funny story behind them. I was looking for something to go on the walls and I wanted like 3 pictures on each end. And I had something temporary here before. There were like some black frames with some images in them. And it just wasn't really the look I was going for. And I was working in a store years ago at a shop and some guys walked in with these Van Gogh prints and they were selling them and they were like, we'll take cash. We're selling 6 of them. I don't think that they're real. They could be. I have no idea. I never got them appraised. I never looked to check. I just said, yes, I will take them. And I bought them on the spot in cash and it was exactly what I was looking for. So here are the Van Gogh prints. If you're familiar with Van Gogh, you will know what each of these are. And then there are 3 more over here. And this one is, so this is really funny because the one on the bottom is not sized properly. It's not straight. It's not on the wall. It's supposed to be the other way. It's wrong. But you don't notice it. Maybe you do, but it works. So I have a little plant here covering the wrong size, how it's displayed. But I love it. Here's another lampshade from my company called A Wanderlust Home. This is the Casa Lopez lampshade and this is in the blue and it's gorgeous. Again, you see how the coloring, there's no filling inside. So it's all fabric all around. So the color pops through really lovely. So these are my blue and white plate collections, or not mine, but just some plates that I purchased through flea markets or you know, antique shops that I love. I love blue and white. So you'll see blue and white throughout my home. But blue is one of my favorite colors. So it just works. And I just kind of eyeballed it and, you know, hopefully it came out right, and it did. And I made a lot of mistakes. So you will see, well, you won't see, thankfully, but there are many mistakes of holes in the wall. And if my landlord is watching this, I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is the result of how it came out, and I'm so happy with it. And these sconces are actually, they're not wired in. They are just, you know, drilled into the wall, not hardwired, and I have puck lights in there. So it kind of gives the effect that they are hardwired and they are real sconces. But I kind of did a faux sconce, if you will, to create a sconce. And they're so far apart because I had something else there. I needed a placeholder to fix what was there before, and it works. So although they're really far apart, it kind of works on this wall, in this space, because there's so much going on the wall. I don't have them typically traditionally like side by side, a picture, an art piece. I have them really far apart because honestly, this whole wall is kind of a focal point, and then the sconces kind of adds a little bit of something, je ne sais quoi, to the wall. So then we have more blue and white on my antique. This is actually a dresser, and I used it as a TV stand because I didn't like the typical look of TV stands. And based on what I have going on in this room, I wanted something really special. And I found it at an antique shop here in town. called Jerry's, and I've shopped there a lot, and it's really they have really cool stuff. And I found this dresser, and I actually have some of my pieces in here, like my placemats, some candles, some of my candle holders, because I don't have a lot of storage. So some of it is stored in here. I'm not going to open it up because it's not super neat, but it works. And these remind me of, these are Wedgwood. They're authentic. And I'm kind of giving like almost like a Marie Antoinette theme here, which is what I like. Again, me being very whimsy and quirky. And this is not a Samsung television. This is a regular LG, and this is a screensaver from YouTube. And I like that it changes. It kind of flips into a different image, but all the colors work for this space. So I always have this going on with some French music in the background, and it's like my happy space. So this is, the frame is actually literally a wood piece painted in a metallic gold, which I did here too. The original color on this was not what it is now. It was like a kind of a muted gold that wasn't really attractive. So I painted it to make it brighter, and I did the same with this frame. So I literally, it's like a Velcro stick to the frame of the television. So, I mean, it's a little choppy right now. I'm not going to point out all the quirks and the details, but it works. From a distance, it works. So it kind of creates this gallery wall without it being hung on the wall. It's still on its stands, but I've hid them through with my more blue and white. I hid them with my blue and white china vases here and more of Wedgwood. So it works. It kind of creates more of this this whimsy gallery wall of all that I love. And then we have more blue and white with these garden chairs that I'm using for indoor. So I found these at a shop in town, and they were sitting outside of the shop, and they were for sale, but I didn't realize that they were for sale because I always saw the salesperson sitting on them. So I finally walked by and I saw a price tag on them, and I asked, "Are these for sale?" And the guy said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I didn't know they were for sale because you're always sitting on it. So I didn't know if it was part of your relaxing chair while you are taking a break." And he says, "Well, yeah, I have two. This is one of the two." And I said, "I want them," because it kind of went with the blue and white that I have going on. And I found this gorgeous antique pillow that I found at another antique shop. I love antiquing, and you find really cool things. And I thought it was great to add into my space beside, next to the dresser or TV stand or whatever you want to call it. and I can store my magazines because I'm a hoarder of magazines as well. So I have every design magazine, not everyone, but most of them. And it allows me to display them so I can see them and grab them and look through them and study them and resource and all of that. And then my coffee table, which is, you know, my orchid. And honestly, it's not real. It's an artificial orchid that I'm not afraid to say it because it works, and I don't have to worry about it dying and waiting a year for it to grow back. It just works in this space with all the colors I have going on. More blue and white, my blue and white garden stool, which was what I love. And then I have my bowl of matches that has my logo on it. So every time someone gets a candle, they receive one of these matchbooks with a Wanderlust Home logo with a beautiful fuchsia pink door. More pink. So there you have it. So they're here, and whenever someone comes, or if they just want to take a match, they can, you know. And more pink in the space. But again, it ties all the green and the blue. It kind of ties it all together. It's a room of happy, a room of colors that when I wake up in the morning, this is where I come and sit and have my coffee, where I'm watching an episode of whatever, and it's my space of happy, of feel good. and there you have it. So now we're going to go into the next room, which is the dining room. What makes my home come alive is the energy that I bring to it, and it's how I put it together that makes it mine, that makes it feel like me. It's not me mimicking someone else. It's not me trying to create something to impress other people. It is my home the way that I see it, the way that it makes me feel comfortable and safe and secure. My friends laugh at me, but I call it grandma's house glammed up, because I like a lot of really comforting antiques and beautiful pieces like sofas and pillows, and it's like visiting grandma's house, which is really cozy, but it's not a place where it's, you go to grandma's house and it's just for a visit. You don't go to grandma's house to stay. So I want you to stay here when you come in. It's, grandma's glam, with lots of colors, lots of textures, just a comforting place where I feel really cozy and safe and secure here. So now we are in my dining room, and I am a lover of tablescape. So everything you see here is part of A Wanderlust Home that you can purchase: the plates, the glassware, the table mat. I'm getting ready for spring, so this is kind of a spring look I am trying out. The only thing that's not from my business is the paper fleur, gorgeous paper flowers, what I love. I have obsessed over these for months, and I finally got my own, and I love it, and it goes perfect with my theme that I have going on. And it's about springtime, it's about Easter, it's about people coming together, it's about renewal. So I have all these pretty colors that you can, it feels like it's tea time in here, but that's what it's about. It's about just people coming over, inviting people for brunch, lunch, breakfast, whatever, to celebrate spring that's coming. This is also from my collection, the wicker ginger jars, which also kind of embodies spring's arrival. The wicker, the rattan, that's coming out now. And I actually call this room the blue room because obviously the walls are blue. But it also has everything that's in it, every image has blue in it. So this picture here, that kind of reminds me of me. Just kind of it says MH. I don't know who the artist is. I'm so sorry if you're watching and I didn't mention your name, but I don't know. I got it from Joss in Maine. I just saw it and thought, I love this image. It's kind of reminded me of a girl that's just kind of in chill mode. And that's me. I'm kind of always relaxed and in chill mode. And it's kind of almost like a beachy theme, where I have, the lady on the beach. I have the images in front of me are of the sea, of lighthouses, the blue and white on the Roman shades. It kind of brings a sense of calm in this room. This is my corner office in the dining room. Yes, I'm limited in space. I don't have a separate office, so I have to use the space that I have. And my home office is in this corner in the dining room, and it works. You'll find mirrors in every room in my home. I'm not a vain person. I think mirrors are artwork. I think they can display as an art piece, not just to always look at yourself in. So I love the shape of these mirrors. And I put them here in the corner wall, like with some Hermes boxes. That's also more decorative books that I love, more fashion magazines, and this enormous piece of art that I had no idea was this big. I didn't look at the measurements properly. Thank goodness I have the wall space for, but when it arrived, it's from Anthropology. It was huge, and I thought, whoa, where am I going to put this? And it kind of fits here, and you can see, I'm not afraid to show you some of the home mistakes I've made because I was like, it's too tall, it's too short, it's too, where do I align it with the door? Like, it was just enormous. So I made it work. I like that it's here, and it kind of brings out all the colors in the room. Here's my bar area. I'm not a huge drinker, but I just have usually just some scotch. I love scotch. And, I have a wine fridge here with some wine, but I don't really have a huge bar going on. Some of my pieces are in here that I sell that can fit in this cabinet, which I've had forever. This is an old Crate and Barrel cabinet. I think I've had for 20 years. I'm not kidding you. And it's still here and it works. I love it. This is 20 years old and it looks like I just got it. So good job, Crate and Barrel. And just my little bench with my sailboat. I love the sea. I'm not a cruise person, but I just like being near the water, on the water, in the water. I just love, so I saw this yacht, this miniature yacht, and I said I had to have it. And it kind of goes with the blue room. It kind of goes with, the lighthouse, the beach, the theme that I didn't do it on purpose. It kind of happened to be that way. I'm just so drawn to kind of the blue and the calm and the serenity of the water. I kind of created this room, not realizing that's what I was creating it around. And then more blue and white here. And these gorgeous, I love these. They remind me of balloons. These are from Kravitz. And I just loved the shape of them. They literally remind me of blown balloons, but in glass. And it just kind of went perfect in this fun, whimsical room with more of my blue and white. And you'll also find that I'm a big fan of Buddhas. Again, I'm all about energy. I'm all about bringing good vibrations and good vibes in my space and around me. So I have a Buddha around, and just creating some really cool things that make me happy. So the trick to kind of putting different patterns and colors together, honestly, personally for me, I don't go by rules. I'm not a rule person where I follow the color wheel and it's like, this has to go with this. I think I just have an eye for things. And if it looks good in my eye and for me, it's going to work. So for instance, this console here, this glass console I got from Wayfair, which I couldn't believe it was from Wayfair, but I love it. Since it's glass and lucite, I just wanted to keep it really simple and clean. So it's already a beautiful piece that you don't want to take away from it too much. So it's just kind of staying within the blue and white. So if you're in the same color, I think you can go with a different texture or a different shape or a solid versus, a pattern. And even if you wanted to mix it up with some color, I think it's what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you happy. I'm not into rules. I'm a rule breaker. I don't follow the trend. I create my own. So I think based on what you see in this space, it's part of even my tablescape. I didn't necessarily say I wanted it to be blue and pink. I just had my beautiful antique plates that I wanted to display. And usually I have a different color plate on every seat because every person that's sitting at this table is going to be different. So I'm always inviting people to be different, be themselves. We're not the same. And that's what my style and my decor and my aesthetic is. Like, I'm not like anyone else. When you see what I'm representing, it's going to be different from someone else's. So here is my plate collection of things that I curate. So we have some really pretty, and everything is hand painted. So they're designed in London and they're made in Spain. So really pretty, like whimsy colors and shapes. for entertaining. And then I also shop, I antique as well. So what you see on my table now, these are antique. So these are old, they're not new. And so are these gorgeous like tea plates. These are, I love these. These are from London. I found during my last trip there at an antique shop that I was totally obsessed with. And then these are more new that are from my collection as well. These gorgeous, gorgeous plates, hand painted with like, again, pink, which is what I love. The speckles of pink here with the painted emerald green. I sold a lot of them, but these are what's left. And then here's another colorway, and they're gorgeous. Look how pretty these are. It's perfect for spring. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is an antique leaf plate from the 1800s, I believe. I have to, don't fact check me on that, or if you can fact check me on it. It's on my website. It's probably one of the most expensive pieces because this is an original from London. So I'm obsessed with it. I have two, and I'm contemplating if I want to keep it for myself because they're so beautiful. But that's, yeah, they're gorgeous. I love a lot of color. Like color to me, it makes me happy. It makes me, it just brightens my day. I'm not someone who tones down color. I'm not afraid to use color. I used to be. So my business, A Wanderlust Home, it is based on me traveling all over the world, wanderlust, right? So it's me kind of curating more color from other countries and bringing that to my home and everybody else's home. So it started after the pandemic with this kind of craving to travel. And during the pandemic, I was decorating and remodeling, and I was stuck at home and looking at things that I put off for years or months. And now I'm forced to kind of change it because I'm tired of looking at it. So it kind of started from there. And then I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find these really unique pieces that I wanted in my home. Places where I usually shop didn't have the look I was going for. And I thought, maybe this is an opportunity to create something where people can come to me to find that unique, find that something different for their home. And of course, bring the color to it. So if you'll see the color in my home and some of the accessories. It's bright, it's bold, it's colorful, it's pretty, very whimsical. Which is, it's my personality, very quirky, and I love to laugh and have fun and be joyous. And that's what I bring to my business and my products. So now we are in my kitchen. And I have to laugh at this because this is my vacuum that I need to charge. So again, I don't have a lot of closet space. So I had to find a place to put my cleaning device, which is my vacuum, on a wall. But I made it pretty with some decorative plates above here so it doesn't look too harsh on the eyes when you're looking at my vacuum cleaner entering the kitchen. So this is my kitchen. It's really small. It's really tiny. I'm able to fit an island in here, thankfully, but it's a functioning kitchen. I do a lot of cooking. Whenever I'm entertaining, for some reason, everyone ends up in the kitchen. So we're all hanging out here, drinking and talking and laughing, versus in the dining room, everyone feels more comfortable doing it in here. So, I love that. So, more animals, my rabbits that are here. This is where my cooking happens. Literally, I want everything accessible when I need it. So this is my small corner where I make some really fabulous meals, and everything is right at my hands when I need it, and it's great. And including Oliver when he's hungry. He is scratching and meowing and rubbing on me to feed him. And these are his bowls that are also from A Wanderlust Home. Right, Ollie? I love colorful doors. So I painted this door red as a pop. And it's, this is an image that I put here of a mother and her child. And I just love that because it reminds me of my mom. So I got it and put it here. And also she was a cook, so it was just appropriate to have this in the kitchen when I'm cooking. It reminds me of her when I was a child and her in the kitchen. And these are some DIY things that, and you'll see it's a rental, so I didn't want to invest too much, but this countertop is a peel and stick paper, and you can see the line. I'm not embarrassed to show you. It's real that, listen, I didn't want to spend money on a new countertop, so I did it myself, and this was kind of maybe a poor DIY job, but it is what it is, and it works because I hated what looked underneath it, which was a marble thing, and it just was not pretty to the eye. So I covered it in this white peel and stick, and I also did the same with these cabinets. They were wood, and I did a peel and stick in a blue, more blue, and it's kind of peeling off here. And I wanted to just show that I'm real, and this is a living space, and things kind of get worn down because I use things. So yeah, I thought this blue was like a grass clothy kind of blue from Amazon, peel and stick, which was great. And I chose to do peel and stick because I thought painting them would be more difficult and more of a headache, which actually doing this was the headache. And I wish I had painted them. So, but they're done, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then also this backsplash, what I put on the wall just to kind of give a little bit of some interest. I wanted to create adding some blue again. I love blue in every room, and it kind of works. It's kind of like this, I want to say penny tile, but penny tile is a little bit bigger than this, so maybe a pebble tile creation. And it kind of mimics the carpet, the Jennifer Manners carpet in the living room, but in blue. So it kind of works. It's kind of cool. And it's added a shelf here. The shelf didn't come with the wall. I added a shelf, put some of my favorite pieces there that I love, some antiques. This isn't a real Wedgwood. It's a replica, which I still love. I love the coloring of it. And this is a portable dishwasher because this is a small apartment, and when I moved in 14 years ago, there were no dishwashers in the apartment. So I had to buy a portable countertop one, which works great. It's clean. I'm not going to open it up, but in order to make it more appealing, I covered it in copper. My little cart here, I covered in copper as well, the top, and changed the hardware and the knobs. And you'll just see little pops of copper pop up, and I just wanted to just utilize that over in the kitchen. But this was fun to do, and you can kind of see, it's bubbling a little bit, but it warms up my kitchen. It was silver, like the sink, and it just was it wasn't doing something. And I thought if I covered it in copper, and now it sings in this room. So I love it. I am always cooking. Honestly, I can do a mean, pasta bolognese, which is like so easy and fun. Grilled chicken with vegetables. My favorite grilled chicken recipe is by Anna Garten. It is my go-to. I don't even look at the recipe. I have it embedded in my head of how to make it. I make it all the time. I feed Oliver some chicken. He loves when I make fresh chicken. And these are some cookbooks that I'm not into looking at, things online. I do, but I still like collecting some good cookbooks that I look through when I want to create something interesting and good. But I love being in the kitchen. This is like my therapy when I'm cooking something, and especially when it takes a really long time, I'm really into it, where it can take, like, the prep time is like 45 minutes and then the cooking time is like an hour. I love that. It's my therapy. It kind of keeps me grounded. I'm home, I'm cooking, I'm either eating it for myself or I'm serving it for someone. They're enjoying it. It's a warm feeling when you make a home cooked meal and someone's enjoying it beside yourself. So here we are in my tiny, tiny bathroom. Honestly, I didn't really know what to do with this room. I had the walls were white at first. Everything was white. It was very stark because I just thought that was safe. I didn't want to add too much color in here to make it look even smaller. I didn't want to feel like I was suffocating. So I finally realized, okay, I have to jazz it up a little bit. How can I jazz this up? So I started to create a gallery wall. So I have a gallery wall of some of my favorite images, things that inspire me. Some of them are magazine cutouts, and I put them in really cool frames. This one is one of my favorites because it's Mademoiselle. Remember that magazine? And it went out of business a few years ago. And I love that it has July 25 cents. Like the magazine was 25 cents. I don't know what year that was, but I thought that was so cool and I had it framed. And yeah, it's just some things that inspire me that I love, some fashion, my little, I've had this little thing here. I don't even know where I got it, and it's probably my age. It's so old, but it works. And again, I'm a hoarder of really cute things. I'm glad I don't throw anything away because I'll always find space for it someplace. And again, just, more art, gallery wall of some things, and no closet space. So I have this kind of big mirrored, I don't know, chest in here. What would you call this? To house my towels and linens because I don't have any space for it. So it's really tight in here when, I'm, trying to get myself together. These vanity lights, yeah, they're old school, but you know what? I can't see, and it provides really great lighting when I'm putting my makeup on. So I need the good light in here. So this provides a good light. I don't want sconces. I want like these kind of old school lights work for me. So I enjoy my tiny bathroom. It's cozy and I made it work for the size that it's in. So enough of this room. Let's go into the boudoir. Now we are entering my bedroom, the primary suite. This room is super special to me. Number one, first reason, I designed this bed that you see. It is my first furniture design piece, upholstered piece, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. It is called the Felicia bed. I named it after my mom. And it makes the room. It is like so wide. I have the back drapery that I hung myself. I almost killed myself trying to get this long 144-inch rod on the wall, but I did it because I'm so determined to make things happen. I don't care what it takes. And I knew that when I designed this bed, I picked out the upholstery. I knew I wanted a specific color. I wanted it to be like, again, the blue that I'm bringing now into my bedroom. So this room is now more of a calming space. It doesn't have as much color. It doesn't have, it's just two colors. It's like a light blue, an off-white, and a white, just to kind of keep it really calm, spa-like, relaxing. This is my place where I need to go to sleep at night, where I need to take away all the stress, anything that's bothering me. It goes away in this room. I knew that once this bed was designed and I saw it was finally installed in my home, I needed some really beautiful bedding to go with it. So bedding is not my forte. I'll just throw a nice, blanket on it, and it's like, although I'm a decorator, like the bedding I'm not really into. As long as it looks clean and the sheets and the bedding matches in terms of color, I'm okay with. So I called my dear friends at Boll and Branch who curated this bed style for me. They did this for me. Like they saw the bed, they said, send me pictures of the bed. I did. And they literally put this together for me. I kid you not. And I can never do something like this. So I'm so grateful for them because it matches the aesthetic perfectly. And then So the design of this bed, you see, it's like a wing. It kind of gives you, that's how I designed it. I wanted it something that was really wide and not so like straight and just kind of cookie cutter straightforward. I wanted something with a curve, something really nice. And I feel like it gives me a hug at night when I'm going to sleep. It kind of has these wings that go in. So with that, I needed side tables that would fit in these little nooks that honestly was not easy to find. So I'm designing some side tables, but I want them to be perfect. So they're not ready yet. So in the meantime, I was looking for side tables that you would think you can find, round side tables with drawers. So not easy to find. And I was on Facebook Marketplace, which I've never purchased from there before. This was my first time. I'm a seller on Facebook Marketplace. I've never been a buyer. And I just said, let me see what's on here. And I saw these tables. The guy just posted them maybe within 5-10 minutes. And I reached out to him and said, are these available? And he said, yes. I'm like, I'm picking them up tomorrow. And he says, no problem. And when I got them, they did not look like this. So they needed a little TLC. I stained them. They were like a light walnut maybe. And I knew I wanted them to be a dark wood, like a super, super dark, like not mahogany, but a darker wood. And I got some stain and I stained them. So they still have some scuffs and marks on them. And I don't mind that too much. They're just temporary placeholders until my tables are made. But they work. And I added these really pretty knobs and they look like, I told my friend, you know what? If I send these tables to that guy, he's going to want them back. And he's like, yeah, he will. And so I really kind of glammed them up. And I love them. I mean, I am replacing them, but I like how they look now. This is the place that's the quiet place where I come in, I read a book. I have my collection of books here, some of my favorites. Ollie has his bed here, my little Oliver, but he prefers my bed, so he'll get out of his bed and jump into my bed, and I don't blame him. I get it. And here's my little cozy. This is an antique chair that I found at an antique shop locally in town, and they had just received it from an estate sale. And I thought, do I need to change the upholstery on it? But I loved the kind of the pinstripe. It's just so fun, I guess because it's pink, more pink. And there's the pink in the room with the blue. And I just loved it. But if you come around to see the damage when you have a cat, what a cat can do. So yeah, when he gets angry with me or requires more attention, this is what he does. And I didn't even realize it until I had to move the chair one day and I said, are you kidding me? This is what you've been doing when you're back there? And that's his way of letting me know he's angry. So, yep. So thank God it's facing the wall. So I'm not going to get it reupholstered because the new one will get the same treatment. So it is what it is. And then this is, again, this room is just very simple. It's not a lot of stuff going on because I think the bed kind of screams like I'm here and you don't need to do anything else. So this is another antique piece that I found from Jerry's locally in Montclair, which is a really cool antique shop. And it's literally, I always have these stories when I'm looking for something and I obsess over something so much, it comes to me. And I was obsessing over a dresser. This was maybe a year ago. And I walked past his shop and this was sitting outside in the blazing heat that he just got it from an estate sale. And I thought, this must be sold. There's no way this is available. Like it's been sitting out here. Someone has probably grabbed it by now. And sure enough, he said, nope, I just got it. Like I just brought it back maybe an hour ago. And I'm like, it's sold. Like I want it. And he's like, all right, give me a deposit and it's yours. And I did. So it just works perfectly in this room with the wood that's on the chair, with the side tables. It's just awesome. And more flowers and with pink, because I got to bring pink in every room. And these gorgeous flowers are from a good friend of mine. Her name is Maritza Walton. She has a beautiful floral cafe bar called Cafe de Flora. And it's like, just imagine these florals in her shop when you're going to have coffee or tea. So she was beautiful. She was nice enough to make something for me. And there they are. And more art. Just again, I'm kind of a feminist where I'm all about girl power, Women's History Month, and I have women displayed everywhere in my bedroom. So here's a woman on the wall here, there's a woman on the wall there, there's a woman on the floor there. So you'll see images of women throughout my house, because I'm just reminding myself of how far we've come and where we're going, and it's all about girl power and women empowerment. And I want to remind myself of that when I come home. Home to me is a place that you feel safe. There's so much going on outside. There's, there's the city, the life, there's always something going on, the noise outside of the walls. And I think once I come home, all of that disappears. Like, I feel so good when I walk through my door. I feel comforted, I feel safe, I feel secure. I feel this is a place that I want to come home to. I look forward to coming home. I look forward to leaving the noise outside and coming home to my sanctuary.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.